Hello everybody, this is Mad Marshman and welcome to the first episode of a new series, Kerbal Space Program, where we are responsible for the science and the launching of spacecraft from the planet Kerbal. So let's jump in and start a game. We'll start a new game and the player will be myself, Mad Marshman. And the flag, we have inserted the Union Jack into the PNG folder, and at the moment there is no career, it's a sandbox game, so we're going to start. So I've played about with this for a few hours while also experienced all sorts of fun and games with Fraps and DX Tory, because neither of them like it very much. So here we have the tracking station. It'll track. I'm not going to click on everything because every time you click on one of these, Fraps will crash, and I'm using DX Tory, and every time you click on one of these it will start a new file and will cut me off mid-sentence. So enough of the technical jargon of the recording. Tracking station, this will track everything we have in the air. Here's our vehicle assembly bay, the VAB. This is where we do our building. The astronaut complex speaks for itself, and the space plane hangar where we build planes and shuttles. So let's jump straight into the VAB and get something in the air. Right, here we are in the VAB. So the first thing we need is a capsule, whether it be manned or unmanned, and it says here unmanned. Now I intend just to crash this into the ground, so as our Kerbals are expendable, we're not going to treat them as such. So now you want some propulsion, we want some liquid fuel. That's RCS fuel tank, that's something different. Here we have an FLT 100 fuel tank, that is liquid fuel, we'll pop that on the bottom. And then we need an engine, so we'll have a LVT is liquid fuel engine on the bottom, and there is a very simple craft. We'll call that short and fat. I think we'll do well. First craft, we got a little bit here for description. We can save that, and then we'll go to the launch pad. So here we have shaft on the launch pad. We can use the mouse wheel to scroll in, we can click the mouse wheel and rotate, and we can do this, click the right button. Oh, we're actually under the heat grills there, and spin around and look at our space complex, the tracking station, etc. And there's our Union Jack flying. But what's more important is this gravity ball. So we're going to hit T, we'll put our SAS on, our steering assistance, which is in the capsule. That'll keep us in a straight line. Shift will throttle up, and spacebar will initiate the first stage, and we only have one stage, which is light this motor. So off we go. So as you can see, we're flying. Fuel is depleting very quickly, so we've got a very small tank. And now we're coming down. We can use W, S, I and D for pitch, yaw and roll. Rotate with Q and E. And we're coming back down to Earth. So this is by a developer team called Squad. They've been developing this for the last couple of years, and we like to support the small developer. When I started playing Minecraft, it only cost me £3 or $5, whichever way you want to look at. That was in alpha development, and look where it is now. This seems like quite a lot of fun despite a very steep learning curve. So I'm just showing you how to get something off the ground. In a minute we're going to try and put something in space. So have we blown up anything nice that we own here? No, that's all good. So we should get a screen in a minute telling us all about that flight we had. There we go, we had liftoff. What did we achieve? We had 1 minute and 4 seconds in the air. Highest altitude was nearly 4 kilometers. Highest speed 175 meters per second. Blah de blah de blah. So we want to go. We don't want to revert the launch. We want to go back to the space center. If you revert a launch, nothing is logged. I'd rather keep the logs. And if you revert a launch of a complicated craft, it will be gone forever. So we'll go to our vehicle assembly bay. Oh. Right, we want a new right, so we're going to build something this time with a Kerbal in it. So we'll have a Command Pod Mark 1. Minimum crew has 1, has SAS equipped. It has an electronic charge, so it has electric if we want to put anything on it that needs electric. So we'll have 1 of these. Now we want our Kerbals to come home safely, so in the utility section we will find a Mark 16 parachute. That would be a good thing to have. We may wish to steer our spaceship, so under controls, well, we want RDS but we haven't got anything to attach it to yet, so we better go back for propulsion. No, structural. We'll think about stages. We want to parachute this down and nothing else, so we want a stack decoupler. This will release us from everything else. Then if we're going to have some RDS, which is rocket assisted steering, we need some fuel for the RDS, so we'll have a small RDS fuel tank. No, we won't. Well, we will, but in a minute. For that we will have some more control. We'll have some SAS for the main rocket, then the RDS, then we will have a larger fuel tank, a considerably larger fuel tank. I don't know if we need one of them yet. 360 litres of liquid fuel. Yeah, we'll have that, and then we'll have a... I'm choosing this one each time because if you look, it's got vector thrusting enabled, which means we can steer with it. That's why I've chosen that. And now I will show you one of the other features. Actually, I'll show you one of the other features of this. We've got symmetry mode. So if we go to structural and we get a radial decoupler and we choose 4, it will place 4 on our rocket evenly distributed. So we put them on like that. We do want our RDS for control, and they're best placed as near to the top as you can get and as near to the bottom. Hopefully that will leave room for our extra rockets. Back on propulsion, we're going to use the same fuel tanks again, and this should give us 4 because of the radial couplers. Oh, click. Let's have a look. They don't always go on correctly. They're on. And in aerodynamics we can have some nose cones. By the way, I'm no expert at this, so we're making this up as we go along and hoping it's going to get us in space. We do want engines on all 4 of these. Right, how are we doing? And I think we may go for structural and have something to hold it up on the launch pad. You don't need them for small craft, but as they get bigger, that's probably a good idea. So we'll have that. And we'll call this 5 tubes, for no reason other than I feel like it. And this is our second craft, and we'll label it as such. Second craft, first space attempt. Right, and save. So we'll take this over to the launch pad. Here we have our new craft on the launch pad, all clamped up. We have Jebediah Kerbin. Look at him shaking about, raring to go. Now what we have here, as I forgot to mention, is the stage, and if we hover over these we can see certain parts of the ship highlight. So first stage is these 4 clamps are going to release, and that's going to fire them 4 motors, which is good. Second stage is that's going to release the side clamps for the 4 fuel tanks. When they run out, we're then going to ignite the middle engine. The last stage is to separate the command capsule and then fire the parachute. So we wish to get our hit T to get the SAS going. This is good in the atmosphere. The RDS, the rocket assisted steering, is better out of the atmosphere, so we'll leave that for now. We will throttle up and hit the space bar, and we're away. I have no idea how this ship is going to do, so I've not built one like this before. I'm hoping it might get us in space. Whether we can achieve an orbit with it or not is another matter. I'm not really going to worry about whether we get orbit or not in this first episode. I would at least like to get into space if we can. So we used about half of our liquid fuel. We can check our fuel on the resources tab. How are we doing? About a third of the fuel gone. What are we at? 9,000. We could start a gravity turn. We could head for about maybe just over 45 degrees. Maybe. We're rolling a little bit. We're rolling even more now. I've helped it. Right, roll back, roll back. Spacebar will start the next stage. That's ejected them. See you later, suckers. And we're off again. If we hit M here, we get our bigger view of the map. Let's double click will center, and the mouse wheel will scroll. There's our apoapsis, the highest point of orbit. We're not in orbit yet, but we're heading that way. So let's get out of the map view. We could always throttle down a bit as well, because we're in a no, we couldn't, because we need to be doing 3,500 meters per second to break the atmosphere. So where's our map view? Right, I'm going to shut off the throttle for now, and we're still rising. Maybe not shut off the throttle. We need some throttle. We need to get into space, but we need to flatten out. We need to flatten all the way out to 90 degrees at least, and we may well achieve an orbit here. It's going, it's going. Are we going to run out of fuel first? There goes the space music. Throttle down. Right, we are currently in orbit. We have very little fuel, so we can now do a maneuver. If we add a maneuver, this is our prograde, this is the direction we're travelling in. If we got 6 seconds burn, if we have 6 seconds burn, we can turn this into an orbit. 8 seconds burn. I don't even know if I've got that much left. Right, we'll have a little go. So what we need to do is we need to go back to the map. We're currently here. You can speed up time with the full stop button or the period button if you're American. And then the comma button will slow us back down to normal time, which we want to do. We don't want to go past the apoapsis. We slow it down a little. Try and catch it before we get there. Right. Now if we have a burn, full throttle. No, we didn't have enough fuel left. We weren't going for an orbit anyway. So basically we will be re-entering. And also I forgot that we needed to be on the prograde to burn, which is the yellow circle. The yellow circle is the direction of travel. We need to face the direction of travel when we burn. So there we are. We're suborbital. And we're not dropping yet. Some lovely views in this, if you like that sort of thing. While we're in orbit, I'll just show you some. Well, we're not in orbit. While we're in suborbit, here we have it. Keep zooming out. This is very reminiscent of our solar system. Very much so. I think that's basically a rip-off, for want of a better phrase, of our solar system. With the sun, as you can see, we are the third rock from the sun. Kerbal, or Kerbin. Moohoo. Eve, there's Mars. If we, there's Eve, where is Kerbin? How close are we to Kerbin? We're focused on Kerbin, so we should be able to zoom right into it. We have our own moon here. Here's the lunar orbit. Mun. We can focus on Mun. We'll be going there as soon as I think we can make it. But for now, we've got to see what's going on with Kerbin. So we're going to speed up time. Oh, we can't speed up because we're throttled up, so drop the throttle. X shuts the throttle down completely. Left control shuts the throttle down slowly. So we'll whoa, 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 whoa. We were really close to getting an orbit, but not enough fuel, unfortunately. So we're dropping in. We're still quite slow. Let's have some more time warp. Right, get back on the map. It's night time as well, which isn't helping. We are finally dropping. How much more have we got? Quite a bit. More time warp. You have to be so careful with time warp though. I have warped myself into an impact before. It's not very helpful. 2,500 meters per second. Right. Here we go. We're coming back now. Back to normal speed. What altitude? Oh, we're coming in for re-entry. Let's get rid of everything we don't need. Zoom into our little ship. Jebediah Kerbal, he's still okay. 9,000 feet. Parachute is only really effective at about 500 meters. It will launch before then, but that'll just trail behind us folded up. Never really got to use the RDS, but like I said, we just wanted to get into space. We weren't worried about an orbit. Orbit will be for next episode, I think. And if we get enough fuel on board, we may even go for from a Kerbin orbit and attempt a lunar orbit, which I've only ever achieved once in about 10 attempts. I'm still pretty new to this. Jebediah Kerbin, he's loving it. He's living the dream. He is living the dream. So we can deploy our chute now, as I said, but it will be in sort of semi open state, and at 500 meters that will peel open completely. That sounded like another part of our craft just splashed down somewhere. Crew hatch, we won't be getting out of there yet. Where are we on the planet? Right in the ocean. There's some land over there. Fortunately, we don't have to worry too much about where we land. We can just get recovered. We can choose that option. There's the Milky Way. Like I said, this is just a representation of our solar system. I'm sure someone somewhere has just got the physics of our solar system in some open source spreadsheet, and the squad team have rightfully grabbed hold of that. I might be wrong, but that's what I would have done. Let's rotate this. We can have a look from inside the cabin. Can't see much really. If there was someone sitting beside us we could see him. Oh, there's Jebediah's hands. He hasn't got any windows as such apart from the one that's facing upwards. There's his escape hatch. Right, we're nearly in. We're nearly down. We'll be 0 because obviously we're at sea level. So we have touched down. We can EVA. Space will let go of the craft. There he is. There is Jebediah swimming in the ocean. Right, so let's get him out. So we have 5 tubes. Was up for 34 minutes and 7 seconds. That mission is so far. Jebediah's is only 37 seconds because it started again from when we EVA'd him, so we can recover our vehicle. Yes, we do want to recover that vessel, and we wish to recover Jebediah. So they're both recovered. This is information, basic information on Kerbin, and then we can get all the nerdy information, like we got our atmosphere and height, atmosphere height, important things like escape velocity and radius for our orbits. So thanks for watching the first episode of Kerbal's space program. I hope you enjoyed this, and in the next episode we are going to try and go for a lunar orbit, or a Kerbal orbit to start with. We ain't done that yet. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.